Hello, hello. Today is Holistic Human Performance 4-year anniversary, and I wanted to hop on here to chat about spiritual entrepreneurship, and the 4 lessons that I have learned on this journey. And I'm so excited to celebrate with you all today. If you all are streaming from East Coast, you know that we got a snowstorm going on outside. So I wanted to hop on here and just like celebrate in community with what we have created, because again, would not be here if it was not for the community that is number one for us here. And we're all about life transformation, health, life, business, relationships. How can you go from point A to point B without the overwhelm, without the drama, without the white noise, and move forward in your life without all of that? So, I wanted to chat about the 4 things that I have learned as a spiritual entrepreneur. As my husband also says hi. So, and by the way, we just went live on the app, on the Holistic Human Performance app. I did something called the Sacred Waters Mystical Sound Bath Meditation Experience. That was just beautiful. So, if you're not a part of the community, if you haven't checked out our app, go check that out. Holistic Human Performance app streams on Apple, streams on Android. So let's get into it. All right. So the 4, let's start with this. Number 1, if you know my story, you know my story. I won't get totally into it, but this journey of how holistic human performance was even conceptualized was from my first book, A Survivor Story: A Holistic Healing Journey Through Cancer. If you know, you know. If you've been following me for a while, I'm a 2-time cancer survivor as a young adult. I'm good. It's been almost 13 years now since I've been in remission. So, basically, how that ended up happening was after I wrote my first book, I had this feeling of there is more to add to this. Like, I guess kind of an unfulfilled feeling. And if you know, you know that feeling. If you're feeling unfulfilled, you know that there's more to do. And I was like, there's something more to this book that I have to expand upon. And while I've been in the health, fitness, wellness for well over a decade, I was born into it basically. So, um, from there, I said, from my own journey, I said, how can we clear the white noise? Because it is very simple in practice, but why people get in their own way where they don't want to get healthy, they are lazy about it, quote unquote lazy. Um, they don't want to change their lives. There's a lot of resistance about it. You can lead a horse to water, can't make them drink it, right? So, for those of you who are wellness and spiritual entrepreneurs, this is a life transformation, and going about marketing and things of that nature is much different than a product or really a service, but this is a life transformation that we bring people through. So there has to be a like, no trust factor. And I want people to feel safe in the space, right? One of my gifts is being a space holder because of the intense trauma that I've been through in my life, particularly with health. And knowing that they can trust me and it is a safe space for you to be in to go through this process. So the first thing that I learned was, what is the intention that you had originally when you first started your business? That is number 1. What was it that set you into this space of, I want to bring this out into the world. I have this desire. Let's go. Let's do this. What was it, right? What was that first step? So that's what you have to look at. And so if you're in a space where you're like, I feel like I'm putting in so much work and it's just really not it's not compounding, it's not working. You need to go back to what was the original why you started this. Your why is everything, okay? The why and the what. Forget about the how. The how you co-create with God, universe, source. And that's what I want. This is what we teach, right? Law, the law of the universe, the manifestation methods. We talk about nervous system regulation, subconscious reprogramming, right? Those are all tools. But the bigger picture is, how can you reclaim your health, transform your life, and live out your soul's mission and purpose? Because that is what you are here to do. Okay. We just get in our own way. So, how do we get out of our own way? Right. And we do a lot of work with nervous system regulation. And we are at Holistic Human Performance rooted in traditional Chinese medicine and energy medicine. Okay. So we go over these 5 buckets: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, energetic. And we take a look at those 5 buckets and what's overflowing, what is empty, and what is even keeled. And that is how we go about it with our group sessions, one-on-ones, master classes, things of that nature. So we want to make it easy for you to integrate. So that brings me to point number 2, integration. Walk the walk. You need to be able to live, breathe, and be the brand. Like, you are the brand. And so you need to walk the walk, because we see a lot of people out here, they ain't walking the walk, and you need to walk the walk. So that is number 2. How can you embody what you are bringing out into this world? Because if you are not, people now, especially today, can sniff that out. They're like, they're not authentic. Authenticity is number 1. That leads through and through. And we're in it for the long haul, right? This is not like a get rich quick kind of thing. You're in it for the long haul. And if you want to leave a legacy, you need to be authentic AF. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. Now, that also entails, which I personally love, and we also integrate this into HHP, is astrology. So our team member, our astrotherapist, Jake Santora, came on the team, and he deals and does and holds space for you guys in regards to astrology. So we combine astrology and energy work, because those two together are chef's kiss. Okay. Now, where astrology comes in is, we need to understand your soul's blueprint. We need to understand who you are on an energetic level, what your soul came in here to do in this lifetime. And that is part of how we can figure out how to curate your holistic health program, your gifts, talents, strengths, weaknesses, what your focus points are, and then how to move forward with them. How do you ground them? How do you integrate them? Because a lot of us get in our own way because we're so caught up with our past and what we've dealt with, and we're attached to that. That's part of our identity. But sometimes it just gets to a point when you've done all the things and you don't really need to know the why you went through it. You just got to get to this point of radical acceptance, and you need to move forward, right? Because you have gifts, talents that you need to share. It's your responsibility with the world. And so we help you do that. So that's point number 2. Point number 3, let me grab my notes. Your nervous system determines your growth. It determines your business growth. So your nervous system, we are very rooted in somatic. Somatic is the body. It's connected to the body. Your nervous system is your antenna point to the visible and the invisible. Now, when you are living in survival, your health is deteriorating. That's number 1. Most diseases are rooted in your nervous system being stuck in survival mode. Okay. Now we help you regulate the nervous system. When you are leaking out energy or have these pain points within business because, again, entrepreneurship is personal development on crack. If you want to become the best version of yourself, go into entrepreneurship because it will confront you with those things that have been hidden for so long, and maybe you didn't even consciously know that that was there. So getting rooted and grounded into nervous system work is going to help you expose those parts of you that maybe you're not going all in on the business. Maybe you don't believe that you're the best. Like, I know we are the best of the best. Like, we live, breathe this work. And I know it because I've seen it work not only in my life, but in others' lives. Thousands we've worked with. And so working with the nervous system and the body helps with business growth and where you need to go. And a lot of the times we grip really tightly onto what we originally thought that the business was going to be. But knowing that since it is a personal development thing, being an entrepreneurship, it's a spiritual game. You have to let go of that grip and allow it to go where it needs to go. I know for me, when I first started Holistic Human Performance, it was working with those who were in survivorship after cancer and those going through it. I don't do that as much anymore. I do more of the nonprofit community aspect of that, but it's not my focus anymore. Okay. It's how can you become the leader of your life, right? I have a bigger picture in mind. Now, that leads me to point 4. Fourth lesson. What was the lifestyle that you desired while you were building the business? Okay. A lot of us forget that we have this lifestyle in mind that we want to live as we're building the business. We have visitors. As we're building the business, and we forget that we have a lifestyle in mind. And we're working very much in it and not on it. And so that's what we need to focus on. So what is that lifestyle that you desired when you first developed your business? That is point 4. And so with that, you want to take all of these things that we just discussed, and I want you to sit with this. And I want you to really journal and lean into the things that you have been ignoring, that you have been not going all in on, right? Because if it's something that you have a desire on your heart, go all in. It's there for a reason. It doesn't mean that you can't do it, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to pass you. No. If it's a desire on your heart, go for it. Go all in. 4 years later, I could never imagine that this is where we would be. And it is the most fulfilling feeling ever. And don't get me wrong, there were moments where I wanted to give up, but I didn't, because I have you in mind, because I know that the work that we are putting out there is so life-changing. And to hear the testimonials, to get these messages and emails and comments about how much this work has transformed your life, it keeps me going. It keeps me here. I'm going to add a 5th one because shits and gigs. 5th one, emotional intelligence. If you don't have emotional intelligence, entrepreneurship is not for you. Emotional mastery is key in every aspect of your life. It will transform every single aspect of your life. So what do we need to do? Focus on nervous system regulation, focus on doing the inner work, and that helps with emotional mastery. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to go celebrate our 4 years. Woo! Thank you all for being with me on this journey. We have some incredible, I'm just so excited for where this year is taking us. We have some incredible masterclasses coming up. Holistic Mama. We have energetic capacity masterclass series coming up. You can find all of that on the website. The link is in the description box, holistichumanperformance.co. You can also check out the app where we live stream and we have these masterclasses as well as on-demand programs and videos to help you transform your life and step into this, as well as our one-on-one coaching, healing, and astrology containers, all in the description box below. So let's be friends. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.